Y'all tune into Anxious Wow, and welcome to the chaos. Hi, I'm Emperor, and yes, that is my real name.
And I'm Tevin. Big love to our returning listeners, and a wild welcome to the newbies. Stay a while, and let's get into it.
That's right. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about rebranding the main character.
All right. But before that, let's talk about what's making us anxious. Nothing's really making me anxious. I'm more like what's annoying me.
Oh, yeah. What are you tired of this week?
What I'm not tired of. I'm always tired of something. I'm tired of people being fake.
And
you like me to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think so. That's a very blanket statement.
Because that blanket is on top of the fakeness. No, all seriousness, I'm just tired of every time I open my phone, it's just people just fabricating everything about themselves. And sometimes it could be annoying, especially when you know these people or you come in contact with these people and you know everything that they're talking about is pretty much belongs in the basura. If y'all know what that means, it means trash.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that this week.
It's just every day. It's annoying. Like people have conversations with me. I could tell if someone's just lying. I'm like, oh, they're making this whole story up. But I smile and go, okay, because I don't want to go back and forth with people about why they fabricating their lives.
Oh, I think I can relate to that. I was in Vegas this week and I bumped into someone who was a real poser. Made it seem like they had all these connections in Vegas and that they could do this and this. So we were leaving one place and going to another place. And he comes out and he says, oh, where y'all going? We're like, we're going to so-and-so. He was like, oh, I'm very connected in Vegas. I grew up here. I know this person, that person. Let me reach out and I'll try to get y'all a table. And so we're like, okay. So we stood there. We were like, call them. And he's like, okay, I'm going to call them. So we sit there and look at him. He walked away. Then just had his phone unlocked, not calling anyone, not texting anyone. It's just on his home screen. And I'm just like, okay. So once somebody else was with, they were like, come on, let's go. He doesn't know anybody.
He unlocked his phone and took a selfie? Like, I'm just really confused as to why he unlocked his phone.
Even his camera would have been open. It was just literally on his home screen.
Doing what? Hoping that something would just appear?
Or I was like, he's trying to figure out who to call or whatever. But I was just like, I don't have time for it. Time is money, and money is not right now, so it's time to go.
And we're going to do brokey. So I'm tired of the fabrication of people's lives.
Yeah.
That should be a song.
Yeah. Tinashe, no broke boys. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today.
All right, I'm here for that.
Okay. For the next few weeks, our overall theme is going to be main character / main character energy. So earlier I said we were talking about rebranding the main character, and that's what we're about to do.
All right. So I think some people don't really understand what rebranding or main character really is. So I think we should enlighten them. Just knowledge is power.
Okay. You have a personal definition of that you think rebranding or reinventing yourself means?
Yeah. For y'all, I'm not hitting up Merriam or Oxford anymore. I'm trying to do things myself or based off of my knowledge and what I've learned in school and life. So for me, rebranding literally is what it is. It's like whatever you are, you're just trying to like see what else is out there, how else you can change or improve of who you are already to be more in tune with yourself. And I did say yourself and not others, because rebranding should be a you thing and not a we thing. It does affect other people in a positive and negative way, depending on how someone takes it, but that's all personal. And for me, main character is what it is. If you watch a show, whatever the main character is, most likely it should be focused on that person. Main character energy, you need to focus on yourself a plethora of the time so you know how to move, navigate, and just excel in life. So main character energy is putting yourself first without putting other people down. A lot of people I know, they're not main characters, although they think they are. They're not even supporting actors. They're the people behind brushing up the floor when something explodes. Like they're not even on the set.
Oh.
And it's a little concerning for me.
A little harsh.
Sometimes reality is harsh, and sometimes people need to hear the harshness of it all.
My definition of rebranding yourself or reinventing yourself is just really taking a look in the mirror and seeing how can I reach my true potential and what changes do I need to make in my life in order for me to get there. Whether it's putting myself around the right people, changing my job, going to the gym, or doing those things that I've been putting off for so long to really get to where I want to get to in life and becoming happier in the long run.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like that you said look in the mirror. The first thing they need to do when they look in the mirror is to be honest with themselves. I think people look in the mirror and sometimes they see what they want to become, which I think is fine, but they don't see what they are now. It's uncomfortable to grow. It is what it is. Anything worth doing is going to be a comfortability there. But a lot of times people look in the mirror and what they see is not reality. And I think most people do that.
Before we get deep into it, we have to just remind people that reinventing isn't about erasing your past, but it's really about evolving. And it's also not becoming this whole new person. So where people can come to you and be like, oh, you've changed. You should still be yourself, but you should be a better version of yourself.
We won't get deep into that because sometimes when you reinvent yourself, the first thing that people do is say you've changed.
Yeah. So there's a fine line between that. Some people, they reinvent themselves and they be like, oh, I don't know you, this, that, and that. Yeah, that's when you start changing. It's not about erasing your past. It's okay, I'm still the same person, but I'm a better version of me. So either you get in line or you get left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you ready to dive deeper into the topic?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Deep into the topic.
I know about Beat Black a Card just now.
With Bobby Valentino.
Who's that?
Okay. So really, I think most people, one of the biggest ways, the first steps they could really take in like reinventing themselves is changing what they see every day. So whether it's your social media feed, so if you're always following, I don't know, naked men or naked women, or that's all you're following, or you're following toxic stuff on social media all the time, that's going to be the energy that's always around you. Like really curate what you see every day into what you aspire to be.
No, absolutely. My thing is, why are you following it in the first place? Like, why do you go, I want to follow toxicity? Like, again, I get it. People like drama. It's funny. Things happen. Go, oh my gosh. But it's one thing to sit there and go, all right, these people are, I don't know, in some type of combat and it's crazy and it's entertaining or surprising. But then you move on. When you start following it and you start looking for it and you start searching for it and it becomes your whole, and you keep sharing that in people's DMs and in people's text messages every single day. Yeah. I'm like, why are you sending me this all the time? I understand the world has its issues and I understand the things that are happening in the world, but why are you helping spread that around? You're pretty much amplifying the problem, changing how you move or changing what you see every single day. Maybe it's you putting social media down and staying off of it. We all know that the algorithm pushes negativity. We've seen before when we had something that blew up on a podcast, it was because it was some type of combat between a nasty comment and us responding. But when we talk about positivity, not so much. Sometimes it's putting it down. Like the first thing you do when you wake up, it should not be look at your phone for social media.
No, it shouldn't even be looking at your phone for emails. It should be something that's actually pouring into you. So it should be maybe something you waking up, you're meditating, you're waking up, you're reading your Bible verse, you're stretching, you're doing something that's productive and that's going to get your day off on the right foot. Because if you wake up to chaos, that's going to be your whole day.
Even drinking a glass of water makes a big difference.
With lemon squeezed into it because your electrolytes are what really help you in the morning.
Unless you're allergic to lemon.
Yeah, then maybe some liquid IV or something like that. We talked about social media, but also what are you consuming on television? You're watching the news. Like I had to turn the news off. I can't look at CNN for the next 4 years. I said I have to really choose to be somewhat oblivious to what's going on down there in DC because I can't live in chaos all day.
So ignorance is bliss in this particular aspect?
Listen, in this particular aspect, yes, because we all know what's going to happen. And I can't sit there and look at people crying for a man that they voted for. So I have to choose to be oblivious, and as long as it doesn't affect New York where I live, I just have to.
And not one out of the many states.
Yeah, I just have to be worried about that, unless it's like an extreme human rights issue. But outside of that, I have to be concerned with what affects me directly because it's going to be 4 years of chaos and mess.
This is true. It's not what happens; it's how you deal with things. So if you know there's going to be 4 years of chaos, and you already know how it's possibly going to affect you, you have to do things to like navigate through it all. Yeah. So what are you doing for yourself? Like you say, you're turning it off, but you still also have to know what's going on out there in case a World War III breaks out.
I have a New York Times alert.
Just jumping back on topic, there are a lot of things for me that people should do when it comes to reinventing themselves. And one of the harshest things to do is for people to assess who is around them and make sound decisions of cutting people off. A lot of times people choose time over quality. And for the likes of me, I can't understand why. Oh, that's been my friend for 20 years. We have both our bums hopping the train together. So I'm just not understanding why.
At the age of 40.
At the age of 43.
OMG.
I've seen it. I told you I was on a bus one day and a guy came on the bus and I ain't paying for nothing and was talking so much about how much money he has. I said, oh, you're poor because there's no reason why you're on the bus when we're trying to go home talking mess and hop in the bus. It was like $275 at the time. I don't know how much it costs to get on a bus anymore, but if you have all this money, it shouldn't be easy for you to just tap your car and keep it moving. And then you start bragging about how much money you have when no one asked you.
So go back on it.
So he got on the bus.
Yeah.
He said, I ain't paying for it. The bus driver just paid him no mind. Literally got on the bus and started talking about how much money he has. Literally, as soon as he got off the bus, with his pants sagging, looking crazy, with fake jewelry on.
Oof, that ain't hard, the fake jewelry.
Pretty much you lying to yourself because pretty much you're a bum. You're probably on a bus going somewhere where, like I always say, you're sharing a pissy mattress with somebody and you feel away about it. Why can you have on some new Jordans? It's not hard to get. They're not that expensive.
I hope he figures that out one day.
They got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I'm pouring it to myself, not him. But I just hate seeing it.
But you were talking about...
It just annoys me. It's so annoying. It's just, it's so annoying.
But you were talking about people holding on to years over friendship quality.
Yes, because I got off topic. Yeah, he probably has friends who do the exact same thing. People do that a lot, and I feel like they need to... Again, you say look in the mirror, have an honest conversation with yourself. Where are you at in life right now? You might be in a great space, not too great, and it's always good to reevaluate where you are. You can lie to everybody else, but you shouldn't lie to yourself. It's not working, so what do you do? I've had this friend for such and such time, and we're all really in the same place. Some people get comfortable with that. Oh, no, I can't keep no friends. I've had the same friends forever, and I got rid of the ones who were in my life, and look where I'm at now, and look where you still are. So it's a hard pill to swallow to cut people off. People don't know how to.
Yeah, I think I used to struggle with that, with having the years over whatever. So you always give people the benefit of the doubt because of how long you've known them. But sometimes those people don't know who you are presently in life. They hold on to you as this person that you were 20 years ago. And you're not that person anymore. You've grown, you've matured. I hope you've matured. If not, then you really need to look in about 5 mirrors. And they should know that you've matured, and they shouldn't be so focused on, oh yeah, at 15 you were doing this. I'm 35 now. Oh, I'm not 35.
Well, you're not 35.
I'm 35 now. And you shouldn't be making me to be that same person. I've went to college. I've had numerous jobs. I've grown in my career. I'm at a different income level. So with that comes different mindsets, different responsibilities, and all of that forces you to grow. You've been through various romantic relationships. You had friends come and go, and that really makes you grow as a person. So just because you've known someone for 85 years doesn't mean that they're meant to be in your life forever.
Yeah, and one thing that annoys me about it, without losing the topic, is I know that the friendship is like warped or a delusion when all they talk about is everything from the past. We're in a different space. Why is all the conversation always about, oh my gosh, remember when we were 20 years old? Okay, but what about what we're doing now? What's going on now? Yeah. And I go, oh, I get it, because y'all have nothing to talk about now because you guys are moving in two different directions. One is going down a nice highway and one is going off the cliff.
Not even a dirt road?
No, the cliff. Oh. Boom, blow up. It's not surviving. It looks bad.
Pretty dismal.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just being honest.
Okay.
Something else outside of being honest, maybe just writing things down. I feel like that makes a big difference. Like looking at something every day can definitely change your mindset. I have something on my wall, and sometimes you forget to do things because day goes by, it's 24 hours in a day, and life's every single day. So maybe it's, remember to pray in the morning. If I'm having not the best morning, to put on an outfit to make me smile, or remember to read that chapter of a book, or remember to go to an event to kind of network, although it feels uncomfortable for me. Or like you said, go to the gym more often, or change the time you go to the gym, or challenge yourself. A lot of people, I think, are scared of challenging themselves because people don't like to put in work.
People are scared of the unknown. And I think that's also where people tend to veer off from actually transforming themselves, because they try one thing and they think it's going to be an overnight transformation. Like they're just going to get a haircut and their whole life is going to be totally different.
People believe that, though.
They do.
You know why? Because you go on social media and someone goes from looking scruffy, getting a nice haircut, and then people are like, oh my gosh, look how great their life is about to change. No, it's not. They got a new hairstyle. Yeah. You might get a compliment. Your life ain't changing.
They think they're going to go from being a D-list celebrity to Beyonce.
They're going to go in there.
They weren't even a D-list celebrity to be.
They want a celebrity, period. How about that? Then they're going to go in the job and, I got the promotion because I got a haircut. Get real. Yeah, and start watching these movies. These makeovers that have people thinking the next thing. It's a good first step. If you decide that you wanted to change your appearance, which I think is cool, but
another whole episode.
But that's not how it works. Like you have to put in the work. You have to be consistent and persistent and disciplined. And most people lack discipline. Like a lot of people do. People always ask someone, how did you get here? And most people say, I had to put in the work. Even if you're a Nepo baby, yes, you got put there because you knew someone, but to stay there, you still need to put in the work if it's going to be successful in anything that you do. Most people, they want the instantaneous change. They want to say, okay, I want to be a nicer person. What does that look like? You can't go around getting mad and curse everybody out. You have to practice with that. Figure out what is triggering you. You say you just want to reinvent yourself. Okay, great. In what aspect or what capacity? You want to be nicer? Great. When things get you upset, stop responding. If you did respond and you go home, go, okay, this is not what I wanted to do. Why did I do it? How do you challenge yourself to be better every single day? Reinventing yourself is just not changing your physicality. No. It really starts within first.
Yeah, small daily changes lead to an overall real invention. So like, even if you, like I said in the last 2 episodes ago, how waking up at 7:30, well, 7 o'clock now has dramatically changed my mornings and my outlook on the day. And you've been going to the gym and that's changed a lot for you as well.
Let's course correct that. I've been going to the gym earlier. I've always been going to the gym. I've been going to the gym at early in the morning because people might go, oh, here's the lazy self. I've been going to the gym at 5, waking up at 5:15 in the morning to go to the gym. For me, going to the gym in the morning was part of my reinventing myself. I told you before, I used to struggle working out for work. I'll be tired. I feel depleted. I said, okay, so what you have to do, you have to work out smarter, not harder, which was a struggle for me, but I figured it out. And also have to fuel my body throughout the day. So I'm eating a bunch of fruit. I'm snacking on these healthy snacks, and I'm just putting a lot of water into my body, which has been helping. But because of that, your day already started at 5 something in the morning. What else can you do? So that's why I'm working on music. I've been writing a lot more. I can't use the excuse that I'm tired because I'm already up. Between the travel of me going from home to work, I'm working on music. And now I'm at work. Okay, on your breaks, what do? I'm working on more music. I'm worrying about what's next. What can I do? But it didn't happen overnight. There's some times I couldn't get up. And I'm like, okay, don't quit. This is one day you can't do it. Tomorrow you're going to do it. Reinventing yourself takes time. It takes practice. It takes discipline. And it really takes giving yourself grace and having the right people around you.
I feel attacked.
You feel attacked?
Yeah.
Like someone punched you in the shoulder, someone pulled your hair, like what's going on?
I'm a PM gym boy, and I just feel like you told me I was nothing and that I'm the scum of the earth and that I might as well go jump off that cliff that you were talking about earlier.
I'm sorry that you thought that and that you decided to be the car that goes off the cliff and blows up.
I didn't say anything about blowing up. You see how you're just making it work?
You said that you was on the cliff. Listen, at the end of the day, that's my personal opinion and preference. I used to go to the gym at nighttime, and the nighttime is more crowded than the day. It is what it is. The worst time to go to the gym and the most crowded time for me is between 5 and 7:30, coming from that industry. So there's times where people will come in after having a long day at work, they go on a machine and they just want to sit there and take pictures because guess what? Social media, people post a lot of time around that time anyway. So people are posting really time, look at me at the gym, 5:30, and they're posting on their stories.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because they think they're about to have an overnight transformation. So
Exactly.
they go at night, they're going to go to sleep and wake up and they're going to be a whole new person.
Or they think that their picture they're going to post that looks the same as everybody else's with the same outfit on, same haircut, same look, the same body,
mirror.
Is going to blow up and they're going to go viral and become an overnight success because people are chasing overnight successes without putting in the work. Yes, there are people who have become successful overnight based off of what we see, but we don't know how many times they reinvented themselves for that moment. We don't know. Like we say, oh, they've always been like that. No, they haven't. Maybe they've tried it numerous times and it didn't work. That moment was for them because they practiced reinventing themselves and was disciplined and consistent, and that was their moment. So people only see the aftermath and then they try to copy it, not knowing they didn't put in the work to be that. You can't fake being someone else and thinking you're going to get the same outcome with them. You need to be genuinely yourself.
Yeah, you should really be that main character because confidence comes from actual action, not just your attitude. So you might have a confident attitude, but if your confidence doesn't come in the things that you do every day or it doesn't show in the things that you do every day, then it's just all a facade.
So how can you be a main character if you emulate in someone else?
Yeah.
Let's give them background energy.
It's giving reboot.
Reboot?
Yeah.
The ones that never do well?
Yeah, it's giving like the reboot that got canceled before the season was over.
Or like the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know if you heard about it. The reboot didn't even make it. It was so terrible.
I don't know why they were doing a reboot of that.
It was like it wasn't like cartoon no more. It was like real. And they became adults, and they was like they was like slutty. One was like working on the streets. I'm like, but they had Bubbles being a whore. That's why I didn't make it.
I'm glad it did. That sounds like pedophilia.
A little bit.
It does.
It definitely was.
Back to the topic. You were being that main character. Stop waiting for permission to be the main character. Show up as a person that you truly want to be every day. Like, people always want to be like, oh, is it okay for me to do this? What will people think about me doing this? That's something I had to learn really within the last year. Step into who you really are. Don't sit there and be worried about what everyone else is going to think all the time, because is that really going to make you happy?
They think it might, but a lot of people need validation of others to feel great. And I think that's the problem. Like, you should never ask permission to be yourself.
Yeah. You shouldn't be a supporting character in your own life.
No, you shouldn't. You should always be the main character.
Yeah.
There's times you're going to support people, but in your life, you are always the main character. Even if someone else is having a conflict, you're still the main character of your story. You're just sitting there helping somebody else. You've seen TV shows where the best friend of the main character is going through something and, oh, I don't know, some relationship thing, and the friend goes and be a supporting and listening ear. But the focus is still on that main character.
Yeah.
You should be that main character all the time. And when you feel like you're not, you're doing something incorrect.
Yeah, you should live life like you're living in your own TV show, where you're your own main character. You can be a supporting character in someone else's life, but when it's time to get back to your own show, you should always be the main character.
And don't let anyone who is supposed to be a supporting character be the main character in your life. I see that happen a lot too.
You shouldn't center anything around anyone else unless you have children or things like that. But even you still need to live your own life. But you'll have to figure out a way to do it once you're like a new parent, though.
Yep. Yeah. And I ain't giving you that advice today, so.
I don't know anything about that to be giving out that type of advice. Let's invite Tasia back on for that.
Yeah, her and Drew, because they definitely know.
And the mothers have something to say.
Oh, yeah, because they had a lot to say, remember?
Yeah.
Just making stories up. And guess what? She was living her best life. She actually was talking about how she was reinventing her life and fixing the schedule to make everything fit. And like we said before, when you reinvent yourself, people feel a way about that because they start criticizing without even asking like how and why. They just start going off, oh, that's not right. That's incorrect. You're doing this. You're a terrible mom. You're a terrible dad. You're a terrible person. And I said, and you have to ask yourself, what about me elevating myself is making you feel so pressed?
Yeah. People are trying to keep you in a box and you can't let them keep you
I'm too big to be in a box. I'm 6'3", 210. A box?
They have big boxes, but you don't need to be in it.
I'm a little claustrophobic. That ain't happening for me. I need to go as high as I possibly can.
So maybe we get you like a 10-foot box?
No, I just want to I don't need a box. Just have me just keep doing what I have to do. We can box, but I don't want a box.
A little jab cross.
A little jab cross, hook up, reset. That's right.
Growth means outgrowing certain people and certain places as well. We were talking about certain people holding you back to when you were 15. Sometimes if those people are still holding you back to that person you were back then, it's time to let them go.
It's true. People do try to pigeonhole others from growing because you said people are scared of the unknown. And also people are very comfortable where you are in their life in that particular moment. That's why they go back to that time when you was 15. That's why they go back to that time. Sometimes they're not sitting there exploring the past. Sometimes they're trying to have you remember where you were to put you down because you are elevated and surpassed them and they can't take it. So they mask it as if, oh yeah, remember when we did this when you were 16? Oh, remember when you couldn't read that well? They'll say things like that. And sometimes some people will get stuck in it and it'll make them insecure. They go, oh, I won. I'm like, yeah, but that was 20 years ago. Remember when you're doing the same thing you're doing now, you're still doing it? Like I could say that to you, but I'll be like, listen, that was back then. Look what I'm doing now.
You remember what you used to do in the bathrooms in high school and how everyone had a name for you? Give it right back to them.
Slutty Susie, but her.
Not Susie.
And guess what? Now you have 9 kids with 9 baby daddies and you still Slutty Susie on the block?
Oh my goodness.
I know. She nasty.
This sounds very personal to you.
I know someone like that.
Well, I'm sorry. I hope that they figured it out.
I can care neither or.
So what do you do when you're working on your reinvention and it starts to feel like a flop?
You assess and you reinvent again. Reinventing yourself is not just one way. There's different avenues. I'll use my waking up in the morning time. The first day I did it, I struggled. And I was like, oh, this isn't going to work out. I only got 5 hours of sleep. And what I had to do, I goes, okay, so let's minus 5:15 a.m. 6 is nice, but 7 hours. Okay, so you're going to have to go to bed at 10. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but normally I'm up at 11, 12. All right, but whatever you did at 11 and 12, you probably could do at 8 and 9. You just have to figure that out. And reinventing is different for everybody else. Like you say, you don't like going to the gym in the morning time. That's fine. But you still get your workouts in. You still have your classes in at nighttime. And you figured how that works for you. So it's always writing down things and saying, hey, this worked. This didn't work. If it didn't work, why? Maybe it was meant for you. Try something else. So it's just really holding yourself accountable and really checking off those boxes.
I have a journal a planner that I write in every day. And at the end of each day, it asks you how your day went, what didn't you accomplish, what can you do better tomorrow, what do you need to push to tomorrow. So it's like a hybrid productivity type of wellness type of thing, but also just your gratitude journals or things like that. Things like they will ultimately help you be in a better mindset and navigate this overall reinvention project that you're working on for yourself. When something doesn't go right, people just want to quit. I think people really need to learn a difference between quitting and pivoting. You may be going in a certain direction and it may not necessarily be the direction you need to head in. It doesn't mean you need to quit. You just pivot into another direction. Like you go at that fork in the road, you go left or right, go right and see what happens there. And you may have to go to a bunch of different forks and pivot in different directions, but you will ultimately find the right direction you're supposed to be going in and ultimately achieve that reinvention or the lifestyle that you're looking for.
It's extremely rare that I've ever heard someone sat there and said, I put in work when I could all the time and it didn't work out for me in any type of capacity. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it might not be the role you wanted. It might not be the star. It might not be the captain. It might not be NBA, whatever. But I've never heard someone say, oh, I poured into myself in this thing and it didn't work out in any capacity. Most times you hear people, they didn't put in any work at all. They spend so much time questioning why not them versus actually doing things. If I ask you, oh yeah, I could have been a great artist. I go, so what are you doing every day? You draw? No, I don't have time. So how you say this is what you want to do in life, you're not putting no time into it. Or I could have been singing as great as this person. I can out-sing them. Okay, great. That's maybe true. So what do you do every day towards music? What are you doing? Do you write? I don't know how. Okay, how do you know? How many times you practice trying to write? It didn't come to me naturally. That's not pouring into yourself. That's not reinventing yourself. How many times have you actually written and sit there and say, maybe I'm not an amazing writer? Okay, maybe you're not. Can you arrange? Okay, can you sing great? What can you sing? A Whitney Houston song? She did it already. Okay, you sang one song. You know how many songs people have? One song doesn't make you a musician or a singer. Or basketball. How many times do you practice? Oh, I should ball with my friends. That's not practicing. How many times do you practice? Do you try to join a team? Do you try to get a coach? What have you done? Are you outside when everybody else isn't? Are you in the gym practicing? Are you outside when it's cold or hot outside practicing shooting 1,000 times a day to be that person? Because repetition is real. I guarantee you the answer is no. If you really want it that bad, you have to figure out maybe the way you move it isn't working. That's why you're still on that pissy mattress.
You're very passionate about this. It sounds very personal.
Because I told you before, he's laughing. I told you before, like I saw someone who had a facade life. It's the first time I saw him on social media. I saw him in person. He was exactly who he was. No filters, nothing. I was shocked. And then I went to his apartment. It wasn't even his apartment. He was staying in the living room on a pissy couch and it was disgusting and the sheets was white, but they were yellow. It was a lot going on. I was shocked.
I think you showed me their pictures. They look dirty.
And back in the day, they didn't look so dirty. But now they look a little dusty.
Well, that could lead us into the next thing. I said people put on like facades, but moving in silence is really the ultimate flex.
People don't know how to move in silence. People are so loud when they do things.
Because people are like, oh, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. The best transformations happen when no one's watching.
That's right.
Because you don't have to worry about catering to other people and you don't have to worry about getting everyone's approval or trying to impress this person, that person. You can really shut yourself in and work on whatever you're working on and really trying to be the best person, produce the best product, make the best music or whatever that you can actually do because you don't have have to worry about appeasing these other people. Let people see the change or see what you're working on instead of announcing it. There's so many times I've shut myself in while I was working on something, and then you just release it and people are like, oh, I didn't know you were working on this. Oh, this looks amazing. It looks so good. Yeah, because I'm not sitting around here trying to impress y'all while I'm working on it. Just put all that energy into whatever you're doing and working on.
And you're not doing it for them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to let you know all my steps and all my moves. You lucky you even seeing the finishing outcome. Like, I'm doing it for me. And those who I know as I'm moving through my journey or reinventing myself, those who I know who really want to see me succeed and grow and change and improve, I let them know what I'm doing. And that circle is so small, it's actually probably a triangle or a line. It's very small. So I'm like, I'm moving this way. Okay, that's great. It's not working for you. Let's come up with some ideas that could possibly have you continue down your great path. Maybe you need to hear from someone else. Won't you try this? And it's not changing, it's tweaking. I told you at the end of the day, I'm never here to change anyone. A tweak helps. Oh, maybe try this way. Maybe get up 2 minutes earlier. Maybe write an extra line down. Maybe spend an extra 15 minutes per day on it, right? Yeah. 15 minutes adds up. It turns into an hour every 4 days, right? And then next you know, something is happening. But only those who you trust and really care. People on social media, I don't care. I just want your likes. I can't with social media. I know everybody, it drives me crazy. People are so fake. Oh, no filter. That's a filter. I know what a filter looks like. Your skin doesn't look like that. Only babies have skin like that.
You literally zoom in. I'm like...
You can see the pixels.
Yeah, it's so pixelated and blurred. I'm just like, you have a filter on top of the makeup you're already wearing.
Like, you don't have a real hairline. It looks blurred. Your neck is a different color from your face. It looks crazy. That's you in person. I'm like, oh, what happened?
Their neck is a different color.
Yes, check it. Their neck is different color from their face.
A lot of times they're giving blackface.
And they don't have a vitiligo. They're giving blackface.
Yeah.
Gosh.
People always want to take shortcuts to reinventing themselves, but reinvention is a process. It's not a one-time event.
Like the people who get all the surgery.
Yeah.
No shade to them, but
unless they're doing it for themselves, but yeah.
A lot of times they aren't.
No.
Why all the girls got their butt 25 times bigger? Because they seen celebrities who got it done and it became big. And they want to get it done. They became a put on jeans. How do they wipe their butt when they use the bathroom?
And now they're all getting them removed because the celebrities are getting them removed.
It's a mess.
Yeah. Any final words of encouragement or call to action for everyone listening?
I encourage y'all this whole entire time. But no, all jokes aside, no, ain't no jokes aside. I'm being honest with y'all. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. Stop looking for other people's approval. You want to be the best version of yourself. You do the work. There are people who can help you along the way. At the end of the day, your word is final. I could tell you to read this book to be great. You don't have to listen to me. There are other avenues out there. But surround yourself with people who actually want you to win, whether that's family, friends, co-workers, people you're going to start networking with in the future. It is what it is. Also, stop holding on to the past. You can't erase it either. Yeah. It does help define you as a person based on what you went through. You can't just erase the past. It is part of your journey. This is how you was back then. You probably didn't like it or whatever, or you probably did. But how do you get better? Even if your past is amazing, how do you become a better person? I tell you every day, I try to be the best version of myself every day in the moment. I'm always thinking of ways how to reinvent myself. You sit there and go, okay, I pushed myself today. This felt great. I'm here. I'm still alive, which means I can continue to reinvent myself in a way to be amazing. Yeah. Even look at like artists, right? For you to have more than 3 albums, it's reinventing yourself. I don't want to hear you sing the same old sad love song about your baby daddy leaving you or your baby mama leaving you or got cheated on 55 times. That's great. Okay, cool. With the same beat and the same producer. What else can you do? Yeah. How can you manipulate your voice? What else sound can you give me? Even playing basketball. As you get older, you don't move as fast. LeBron James at 20 ain't the same as LeBron James at 38. So my thing is he had to reinvent himself to say great. He started being a little more technical. He started being more strategic. You have to keep on doing it to keep on being great. So do this for you and no one else and give yourself grace.
I agree with everything you said. And that's not all.
What else?
Because now we have an after show. A little more raw and unfiltered than what's normally on here.
And I'm going to be cursing everybody out on it too.
Oh, well. If you want to listen to that, sign up for AW Plus and you'll be able to hear all of them.
That's right.
Normally, we also have a little viewer question. We have decided to push those to Friday releases now. And that'll be a nice, fun 10 to 15 minute conversation.
We got so many people reach out saying you haven't read my thing I sent you. And I'm like, there's a lot. Yeah. So now we can fit more into the time.
Yeah. And we have only a certain amount of studio time, so we can't be here taking up all the time for your questions. So stay tuned for that on Fridays. Then, yeah, that's all the time we have for today.
Today was really good.
Was it?
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
glad you had fun.
No more pissy mattresses.
Yeah, no more. Thanks for hopping into today's convo. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so hit that subscribe button and stay locked in. Just keep the vibe going. Follow at Anxious Wild on all social media platforms or go on anxiouswild.com for all the extras. Sign up for the Selfish Edit, your go-to for affirmations, playlists, and powerful self-help tools to keep you grounded. If you have a dilemma or a wild question, slide into our DMs or email hi@anxiouswild.com. Bye.
I'll see y'all next week. Actually, see you on Friday.
Did this episode fly by too quickly for you? Join us for our after show, exclusively available for AW Plus members.